We've left the wonderful field of wheat and now we're in the middle of this field of oats, and the first thing we notice is how much taller oats grows compared to the other two cereals.
Yes, Richard, yes. That's why I like one field of winter oats. It gives you plenty of straw for the winter.
And is that one of the characteristic features as to why you grow oats? Because of that, because you get the benefit of good long lengths of straw as well?
Yes, you have a big crop of straw, and straw is going to be a valuable commodity these days because we've had such bad summers the last 1 or 2 years that there seems to be a bit of a shortage of straw all the time. So it just adds to the value of the crop.
Now the growing characteristic of wheat is very different to the last two cereals.
Yes.
Last two were tight grained on the stalk. This hangs almost like a flower.
Yes, so it's easy to see what oats is like, isn't it? Look, anybody could pick that out. You could see that's a field of oats then close if you look at it.
And this field, again, like the wheat, is quite green. How long will this take to turn a golden colour?
We're in about a month now, and this will be harvested again just before the winter wheat.
And do the oats remain standing upright, or do they fall like the barley? What happens there?
That can be a problem with growing oats. If it goes much taller and you get some bad weather, it can put the crop down flat. That makes it a lot harder to harvest with the combine. So hopefully, again, we're in the hands of weather, and when the weather's good, it can be very rewarding.
Again, this looks, we were talking about making sheaves earlier of corn. This looks the type of cereal that will make a really good sheaf because you have that extra length of straw to handle and to bind together.
Yes.
It's a very attractive sheaf.
I like making a sheaf out of oats. You can gather it all up together and it's always nearly all the same height, so you have a beautiful tied up sheaf of corn.
And what about the sort of weight of grain you get per acre?
Well, hopefully you can always hope that you're going to have a good crop, but once we've harvested, you know the amount of trail loads you have and you estimate your weights and you know whether you've done fair or good. Yes.
And what is oats generally used for?
I use oats for feeding young stock, and then I sell a lot of oats then to sheep farmers in the springtime when they're lambing. It's a very popular feed for sheep because it's very safe feed to feed animals.
In which way is it safe? What makes it safe?
Well, if you feed a lot of barley, you can tend to get poisons from it. But oats is a very safe feed, and if some of the sheep tend to overgorge, it doesn't hurt them.
The combine will be coming in here in about a month's time.
Yes.
So that's before the wheat.
That's right.
And this will have turned again a golden colour throughout.
You can see it just starting to go now a little bit. And it'll turn quickly now with some weather. Yes.
And the fact that there is it's not so compact in terms of the grain, does that mean the air can get through it and it'll dry and turn quicker than the other grains?
Yes, more or less the same, no really. Ripening is a process that just takes a steady period of time in dry weather, and as you said before, do you bite the grain? Well, yes, you can pinch a grain of oats to see how hard it is, and you'll know then.
And when was this planted?
This one was planted middle of October, ploughed in September, but planted in October. Yes.
So the same sort of period as the barley and the wheat?
Yes. Plant the oats last, that's what I do. Winter barley first, then winter wheat, then winter oats.
And is there a reason for that sequence?
Well, oats is a very hardy grower, so you can leave the oats till last, and you tend to want to get your barley and wheat in because they're more tender growers. Winter oats is a hardy grower. It'll stand a lot of wet conditions and hard weather.
So it'll stand worse winters than the other the two grains?
Yes.
In this field, Albert, why have you decided to grow oats here?
Well, I'm growing oats in this field because oats is a break crop for the next cereal crop. And the next cereal crop here next year will be winter wheat. It just gives the ground a break. from the continuous same crops. And then I grow winter barley then for a first year after wheat, and a second year, then it goes back to grass, and then I grow oats as well in these break crop. Grass and the oats is a break crop between the other cereals. That's why I mix them up all around the different fields all the time.
So that rotation is important to keep the soil healthy?
That's right, yes.
I see.
And keep your crops healthy as well. So they don't like being grown in the same field, the same crop all the time.
Now we've looked at a field of barley that you grow in and a field of wheat that you grow in, and now we stood in the field of oats that you grow in.
Yes.
The question someone might ask is, why are you growing 3 different cereals? Why not just stick to one cereal? And is not one cereal more profitable than the others? What's the thinking behind having 3 different cereals?
Well, the last few years, under the Welsh Government, when you grow over a certain hectarage of cereals, you have to grow 3 crops. There's a 3-crop rule. But recently now, this last year, this has just been dropped. So one wouldn't have to grow 3 crops now. But I still grow 3 crops because I have sales. I have sales for oats, wheat and barley. Whereas perhaps if I grew all 1 crop of barley, I might not sell all my grain in one season. So it pays me to have mixed crops anyway.
So is it a case of not having all your cereal in the one basket?
Well, that's one good easy way of putting it, yes. Yes.
Good. You have 3 different crops, and the combine will come in and harvest all crops. Is it the same combine, and does this combine need any adjusting to deal with the different crops?
Yes, oh yes, different drum speeds, different sieve settings and different wind settings for the combine on different crops, yes.
So that's to ensure that it is able to separate out the wheat to its most efficient, and the barley to its most efficient, and the oats to most, and they all require slightly different settings within the machine itself.
Yes, definitely, yes.
Again, I know, Albert, you have your own combine. Is that the case with all farmers, or do farmers have different arrangements?
I think some farmers hire the combine in, but I've always had my own combine, yes. Because I like to be my own boss, and I'm ready to go when I want to go to harvest.
So that means you're not then dependent on someone else
That's
being available. Correct. You can bring out your combine when you're ready to cut the corn as you see.
Yes.
So Richard, I know you're on the committee, etc. and etc. So how long have you been involved in the Gower Show?
Been involved in the Gower Show more years than I care to think.
Right.
But only latterly have I got involved with the field crop section.
Right.
Probably 3 or 4 years at the most, and a very interesting, very rewarding interest it is, because it takes you around the farms, and you get to meet a lot of farmers and a lot of people that you would otherwise only occasionally meet.
Okay. And what is it you actually like about the Gower Show? You know, I've been speaking to a lot of people, etc. and a lot of people just love the Gower Show. What attracts you about the Gower Show as a person, not as a judge or anything like that?
Well, partly growing up on Gower, it was one of the key events in the year. The agricultural show was the event that brought all the families of Gower together, and it still does to a great degree. There's still a lot of going to the Gower Show to meet up with those people that you haven't seen for the past year.
Right.
And I think that still goes on, but it also provides a window for the visitors, and Gower attracts a lot of tourists, a window on what Gower has to offer in addition to the beaches. And there's a lot going on here, a lot of activity and a lot of involvement, but most importantly it's a chance for the people who live and work in the Gower to become involved in a common activity, whether it be competitive or just visiting, and have that day out as a community.
So Albert, I mean, you're a farmer, so surely going to the Gower Show is a distraction. So why, in terms of taking you away from your daily work, etc. So why do you like the Gower Show?
Well, it's supporting the show, to show what agriculture is taking place in the Gower.
Right.
And all the people that visit Gower then can understand that when they see the sheaves of corn, see the bales of hay and the veg, that they know it's all been grown on the Gower.
Right. And how long have you been involved in going to the show?
I've been going to the show now for many years.
Yeah, come on, give us some years. Are we talking 20, 40? What?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. So do you find it a good, as Richard was just saying now, do you find it a good opportunity to meet up with other farmers and people who are doing similar?
Yes. You always meet up with other farmers, and of course other farmers and livestock farmers are looking at the sheaves of corn and the samples of grain.
Yeah.
And you can also get they want to buy some corn with you later in the season.
Right. So there is a business. So I know it wasn't set up for that, but there is a business opportunity.
Well, as well, yes, because you're showing what you're doing.
Right.
At your home, aren't you?
Yeah.
Albert, can I thank you very much for hosting us today, and I hope those that view this video find it enjoyable and informative, and hopefully we've learned something more about how field crops are grown and prepared on the Gower.
Thank you, Richard, very much, and thank you for asking.